Welcome to our first attempt of videotaping our cooking on a Blackstone grill. Please sit back and enjoy how we cook our bacon cheeseburgers. You can choose any type of patty that you'd like. We chose to get the pre-made from Fry's instead of making our own patties just for convenience sake. Obviously, you'll want to prep your Blackstone prior to cooking on it. There's a couple videos out there on how to do it. I looked at several. They all seem to be about the same. And it's really easy to do to prep it up, just like using a cast iron pan. And then cleaning it and preparing it for the next time to cook. So I'm getting all the bacon on there. Got a few beef patties on there, getting everything prepped. Obviously, you want to preheat your Blackstone and not throw everything on there cold. There is a laser temperature gauge you can buy on Amazon for about 20 bucks, and it will get you the temperature of your zones. This one is actually a 4-burner Blackstone. I'm using the 2 burners on the right. I believe you'll see me later on in the video doing the left burner as well. So at this time, I don't have that temperature gauge. So right now it's been trial and error as far as deciding how hot to get the burner for whatever food I'm cooking. There is a chart out there that kind of helps you out, letting you know what heat you want to have each burner. So I would highly recommend it. That's going to be a purchase that we're going to make. In fact, by the time I've edited this video, we've already made the purchase. Haven't used it yet on the Blackstone. So I tried to set up this video so you can get my perspective as I'm cooking and not be looking at me while I'm talking. I just wanted you to at least watch what's being done. You'll see that it'll seem like it's taking a short amount of time to cook some of the items. It's because I've been removing frames. As you see, we like to season everything that we cook. We'll season the patties, we'll season the bacon. This is just some coarse black pepper from Costco, but you can mix and match whatever you like to do. We actually like to use a seasoning that's a pepper, garlic, and salt mixture. So I have a bad habit as a cook. I do like to flip the meat probably more often than anybody probably should. I try to flip the bacon more often than just sitting and watching it cook on one side because it has a tendency to curl. So if I keep flipping it, the curling effect is not quite as bad. As you can see right there, I'm still getting some curl, and you're gonna have about 4 or 5 pieces. You'll see that I have a curl on the bacon, but if I continue to flip it, I'll get that curl to go away, and the bacon, in my opinion, cooks a little bit easier and more even if I keep flipping it around. See there, you'll see my weak attempt at trying to get that curled piece to stay down. You can buy one of those little handled bacon press, and I have one of those too. I probably should have brought it out. But as you'll see as I cook along further, you're not going to see much curl in the bacon. And it's going to come out pretty good. So this video originally started out as I was going to do bacon cheeseburgers for my daughter and then cook some BLTs. So this bacon is actually for BLTs. But we had an epic failure after we got everything cooked. We bought the tomatoes to go on the BLTs, but the tomatoes kind of disappeared between the grocery store and our house. So I can't 100% blame the grocery store bag person for putting it in or forgetting to put it in, or maybe I did something else with it and it possibly got thrown away with all the other extra bags and stuff. So, without any evidence or facts, I'm just going to say our BLTs did not go as planned, and we didn't end up eating BLTs for our dinner. But I don't know this at this point in the video, so I'm still cooking away as if I'm going to have a BLT, and it's going to be the best BLT in the world. One of the things that I learned from watching some videos on YouTube is that there's a person out there, I can't think of their name. I wish I could think of their name to give them a little credit. They actually use mayonnaise, and there's probably a lot of you that do. I've just never used mayonnaise on my bread to brown it. It's always been butter and get a nice golden brown on it. So this person actually used mayonnaise on the spread of their bread for the BLTs, and it crisped out really good. So I'm going to give it a try in this video and see if it's any good. As you can see, I put a little screen cooling rack there. That's kind of an essential. If you're going to cook on a Blackstone grill, I've noticed that if you get one of these, and I just bought a couple more. This is one we just happen to have that can extend up to like 6 inches off the countertop for cooking in the house. You're going to want to have something like that to put your burgers on or whatever you're cooking. If you want it to stay warm and not continue to cook or burn, this is the ideal thing to have. I don't think you could have a Blackstone without having something like this. So as you can see, I'm still flipping the bacon. I tried to hold off flipping the burgers, so I'm not flipping them as much as I flip the bacon because I want them to cook good on one side, and then when I flip them, I don't have to flip them too much after that, and they'll cook, and you'll see the clear juices to tell you when it's pretty much done, unless you like your burgers a little bit more medium rare. But you can see the bacon's turning out pretty good. It's coming out nice and brown. We have a couple of different tastes of bacon in our family. My wife likes it really crisp, whereas I don't like it crisp. I like it cooked, but I want it not so dry. And that's what happens when you get a really crispy bacon. You get a really dry bacon. And if somebody knows another way of cooking it to avoid it getting dry and be crispy, you let me know. Again, this is all experiment. I've been cooking for a long time, but not professionally. Never going to say I cook professionally. This is all just the backyard griller, cooking for the family and the kids ever since, I don't know, whenever. I mean, it's been a long time. So my bacon's getting there. I'm going to start pulling it off, otherwise it's going to start to burn. And then you're going to see me move the burgers around a little bit. I'm going to possibly do a little bit of cleaning here. It's really easy to clean a Blackstone. You don't do anything fancy to it. Basically, you still have your burners on, maybe on low if you're not cooking on anymore, and you use water and a scraper. You can use a spatula that you buy, like the spatula there to the left. I've got that, and I've got a couple different types of scrapers that I use. And believe it or not, when you do that, you can see how hard it is to scrape that stuff. You'll still see it on the burner. But when you throw water on there and the water reacts to the heat and it steams, it is just the easiest thing, and unbelievable how easy it is to clean. There you go, the steam, the water, you just scrape it right off. And you don't put a lot of effort into it. You just scrape right off. If you didn't get everything, then you put a little bit more water on it. And you don't want to scrape hard because you don't want to ruin your seasoning. You don't want how you fixed it all up and got it prepared for cooking. You just want to get some of the chunks of food off of there to where you can use it another day. And you'll see, you might not see it in this video, but what happens is after you get it all cleared up with the water and cleaned off, then you'll take a paper towel, dry off the top real well so there's no water on it, because this, steel, metal, whatever, not so much stainless steel, but some of these things will rust if they have water on top. I haven't left water on it to see if this will rust, give me rust spots. So you get it all cleaned really good, dry off the water, and then you come in with a little bit of oil on a paper towel and rub that over the whole surface. And we have a Blackstone with a top, so we close the top so it doesn't get affected by the Arizona weather. Any critters, and Arizona's very dusty, so we get dust storms here like crazy before any kind of rain, and so you're constantly cleaning off the furniture, cleaning off the deck, just to. This really helps you avoid the dust. So the bacon cheeseburger for my daughter, we like to use some real bacon pieces that we buy from Costco. This is something we just recently started. We throw it on the grill, we heat it up, cook it up a little bit. I mean, it's already cooked, so you're basically just heating up the bacon pieces. And then here's where I've taken the butter, or not the butter, but the bread with the mayonnaise. You can see the mayonnaise on the pieces of bread and throwing it down on the grill to brown. And then that'll take a little bit of time. I've lowered my burner on there. Again, this would be one of those nice times where you can take that gauge and kind of figure out what kind of temperature you're looking at, because you don't want it to be too hot. You don't want it to be not cold enough. And you can see my daughter then going right through there, piecing that pad she had in her hand was it's her way of coming up with some names for us, because we're just starting to do this. We're hoping to put some more videos out there, but she was trying to come up with a good YouTube name for our YouTube channel. So it would encompass both videos that she creates for us and then videos that I throw in there. I think she's going to be my editor in all my videos. But so you may be seeing a lot of videos with hearts and who knows what in them, some weird music and stuff. But yeah, it's all fun and games. So you can see here's where I get a little impatient. When I put the bread on there, I should have just let it do its thing. But I have a tendency to check, and you can see I'm checking it too soon because you can see some of the mayonnaise coming off on the spatula and stuff. But that's where having that temperature gauge that you can put on your burner to see where you're at, it might be pretty handy to have. Again, so like I put the burgers on top of that, and I found that that's only about a half inch to an inch above the surface, and that keeps everything nice and warm without continuing to cook it or burn it. We'll make the bacon cheeseburgers for my daughter right there on the grill, and we're not using the full strips. We're using the little ones. She really likes those little crunched up ones when she eats her bacon cheeseburger. So I throw the cheese on there. You're going to see I'm going to use this little cover that I got. I think it's an essential thing to have with your Blackstone. You'll also see in this video, I'll spray a little water in there, and what happens is with the hot burner surface, it'll steam and it'll melt the cheese or whatever you're trying to melt in there fairly quick. But again, this is an essential tool I think you should have for whenever you're cooking, whatever you decide you want to do. So there I am spreading a little bit of water on there to get that steam, and then throw that cover back over it real quick so you get the full effect of the steam. I don't know if I was busted already, but as I said earlier, when you cook bacon as a cook, you have priority, so you get to grab a piece here and there, enjoy the bacon while you're cooking. That's why I could never be a chef, because I would always be sampling the food. And next thing you know, I'm not a small guy now, but I could be a really big guy if I was a cook, because I'd always be sampling. So that cheese melted really well. That's exactly how my daughter likes it. So then we toasted our buns so we can take and put one of those on the bun, and then I put the other one on the cooling rack, so it will not continue to cook on the flat top. So what you don't see in the video is all my trial and error of doing a voiceover on what I'm doing. So I recorded this with no sound so that I could add sound later, because I figured I didn't want to be the blooper reel of YouTube for cooking, because it would be really easy for me to do. But you can see I got the burger done for her. I'm gonna end up throwing it on a plate here pretty soon. Not a piece of plate, but on a plate here pretty soon. There we go. You're gonna see her come out, and after I get that on there and I show a little bit of a picture of what it looks like on the bun, you're going to see my daughter pointing towards the real bacon. Well, it's real bacon on there right now, but the real full slices, the not chopped up slices. And I don't know if I just ignored her or if I didn't hear her because I was so into my concentration of cooking, or it's just because I'm old and I can't hear. But I do eventually give her a slice of bacon to add on top of her burger, and then she goes on and eats that. And I'm still cooking away. Like, I've got tomatoes in the house, and I'm gonna have the best bacon cheeseburger, or not bacon cheeseburger, but bacon BLT. But don't have any tomatoes, so I can't have BLT. So it'd just be BL, and nobody likes BL. I mean, I don't think so. So, anyways, I get all those out, get them done, and then about 5 minutes later, I learned that I don't have tomatoes for whatever reason, and I don't know who to blame. So I just don't talk, and just what I end up doing is taking that cheeseburger with cheese, throwing on the bacon, and using the bread there. And I tell you what, it's a pretty darn good BLT. And I do like the mayonnaise on the bread for browning the bread. You see my burners were a little bit hot in spots, so I'll have to still learn how to cook and get the temperature gauge going right so that everything cooks fairly even. But again, it's trial and error, and I'm just learning how to do this. So any suggestions or ideas, much appreciated. You'll see more videos coming from us in the cooking realm. If you're on my YouTube, you'll see a couple videos on Christmas and Halloween, because that's really what we like to do during the season and stuff like that. But more videos to come. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, please leave your comments. Much appreciated. Wouldn't be much of a video if I didn't throw our killer watchdog, who's always looking for pieces of food falling off of the grill or the table. Say hello to Coco. She always seems to show up when the food's being removed from the grill and put on the table.